What's up, you guys? So we are back with this quick video. I'm just making this, for my records, with all the evidence that I have, right? Because I'm also trying to also show you guys what it is that I'm talking about when I say that there's a certain mindset, right? Now, some people may not experience, whether it's racism, adversity, but just because you don't experience doesn't it mean that it doesn't exist, right? Hence the reason why I think it's so important for us to have individuals, especially when working in a department as civil rights, okay? For us to have individuals who have experience, right? Although we saw that recently a lot of the DEI programs have been ended, right? Which it's very interesting because we see that this mindset is still prevalent. Hence the reason why they would end DEI, even though distribution of wealth and a whole bunch of other statistics prove how melanated beings, in particular, right? Individuals of color are not treated, and for many years have not been treated with equal respect and equality. And I'm actually going to highlight this, the system of the United States Department of Education. I will get more into that in my upcoming videos to come, but I wanted to show you an example, right? Okay, let's get into it. So let's take a look at the letter that I received from this was the most current letter, okay, that I received from the Department of Education. As we can see, it's right here. I received this letter May 8th, which was yesterday, right? And it was regarding these two individuals because, mind you, Liberty University did an investigation. They lied, okay? And I have evidence to disprove this. And then they came back, their attorney came back with a letter. And mind you, let's go to the attorney's first email, okay? Now, this one was, okay, this was actually from when they did the investigation November 13th, right? I received this email from this individual who I did not know, okay? Understand that in this one, it's marked by not only Jasmine Gibbs, who I highlighted in one of my videos, who's an attorney and is the team leader, but it was also signed by Noga, the attorney, okay? Mind you, this person's supposedly a supervisor, and I'm going to show you on camera, okay? But in this, they had incorrect information, as well as, let me show you, oh, sorry. They had me in the case of disability discrimination. And mind you, there's also more incorrect information on here, such as misspelling of my name. So what I'm saying is these people did not know the facts, right? Hence the reason why I would then receive a letter to open an investigation with Charmaine, because I let them know, again, that these people lied once again, and I showed the facts, right? And then hence the reason why I then received an email from Charmaine, and it's regarding starting another investigation. Mind you, I did this complaint with them back in April, okay, of last year. And they came back with an investigation, incorrect facts, hence the reason why I called Charmaine, because Amber Sandler was the original attorney assigned to it, and they did not do a great job, meaning they did not investigate the facts. Hence the reason why Charmaine emailed me, and we started another investigation. Okay, let me open this one. I thought I downloaded it. Okay, so he emailed me. Okay, this is December 6th. The two individuals, right, with the correct information. Okay, so this is one letter. And this one was supposed to be Andre Thomas. Now it says administration assistant. Now, if you look at the email that Charmaine sent me, this is what it says. And if you call this number, you always get Charmaine Canton, right? As a matter of fact, call this number. If you have to do a complaint, you're always just going to get this. Mind, you're not going to get to speak to anybody, okay? Because I called this individual how many times, and I have not yet heard from this individual. Now, all of a sudden, I get a message from someone unrelated to my case yesterday. Okay, let's look at the email. Okay, so I get this yesterday. Okay, here we go. This is the email I get yesterday. And I replied yesterday, okay? Miss Marshall, and as you can see, it's going to be dated United States Department of Education. However, it's like, who's this from, right? So you click on it, and you see it's someone completely, entirely new, and she also is incompetent. Because how do you disregard the facts, okay? Okay, and I already explained to you what all this letter was saying. Pretty much they're saying that they have the right to choose whether or not they're going to investigate similar claims, meaning they did an investigation, but they came up with false, incorrect information, right? They came up with a completely different story. Then they're saying that also they can't investigate their own individuals. The United States Department doesn't have this jurisdiction, right? Or the funding, insufficient funds, right? And found insufficient evidence to support this allegation. Okay, OSER previously investigated another complaint you filed alleging that the university discriminated against you on the basis of race when a professor implemented new rules for you to submit and complete assignments, okay? OSER notified you that it completed its investigation and found insufficient evidence to support this allegation. Okay, understand they did that because they came up with an entirely different story, meaning they lied, and I have evidence to disprove them, okay? Okay, now they're also saying that they are not going to continue the investigation. Why? Because, look, this is why. They are dismissing my case, right? It does not have jurisdiction over the entity to allege to have discriminated. Or OCR previously explained to you in a letter dated does not have jurisdiction to investigate complaints against the Department of Education or its own staff. You get what I'm saying? And now they gave me this. So this is now something new or something that they just made up. I'm not too sure because they never told me this. But not only that, you can't have staff, right, engaging in fraudulent activity, dismiss a case and not give me a fair trial. Okay, mind you, your document that Jasmine A. Gibbs sent me, guess what? It is called false, right? It's called incorrect information. Hence the reason why I say that, let me find that letter. Where's Jasmine's letter now? Okay, let's go to, I'm going to show you guys Jasmine Gibbs' letter. So I don't understand why this woman now, Sarah, is confused, right? Like you got rid of people and then you bring in someone more incompetent because she's not an attorney. Okay, so understand this is from Noga, the attorney, right? The date. Okay. Jasmine Gibbs, okay? The attorney, and like I said, this was their letter that closed out my investigation. Understand, what does it say? Disability discrimination, as well as incorrect information. How can you guys do an investigation when there's incorrect information? Mind you, these are the attorneys. Now let's see who this this Sarah Morgan person is. So when I looked her up, you guys, right? I typed in this, Sarah Morgan, Program Manager, United States Department of Education. Now this comes up, Maryland State Department of Education, right? And then let's see. And then also, let's see. This comes up, okay? So these two individuals, regardless of their big title, incompetent because she's not an attorney, right? Let's take a look. I don't know which one this person is, but so this could potentially be her, right? It says administration. I don't know if this is for her, for sure certain if this is her. Okay, it just says that Sarah Morgan and the person, is a program manager. It doesn't say that they're attorney. Okay, because even this right here, systems development and TA manager. Okay, I don't know if this is really, if this is a person, right? But I'm just going to document this for my records. Okay, now let's go back here. I don't have a LinkedIn account. This is just for public records. Let's try this one. Okay. Director, Office of International Relationship and Economic Research, United States Department of Labor, Georgetown University. See, these people now, supposedly, if it's one of these individuals whom I just highlighted, Sarah Morgan, right? She's not an attorney, okay? She's incompetent. So regardless of her letter, right? This is what she tells me. She says, finally, please note that this person, those are administration staff. Honey, so are you. They are not involved in investigation or complaints, so they cannot address your concerns regarding or handling of your complaints. Okay, so then why would they send me the document, right? Because again, your facts are incorrect. You don't seem to be an attorney either, because you don't have the facts straight. Now let's go to my quick my YouTube video, my last YouTube video, because I'm gonna make another playlist about this. Okay, so what's up, Instagram? We are back with another. I recently made this video. Disturbing response. A system built to protect itself, right? United States Department of Education, Sarah Morgan, program manager. Because I recently got this email from Sarah Morgan. Again, she's not an attorney, and she did not do a proper investigation. Why? Because you saw that I got an email from the attorney with incorrect information. She closes out my investigation because they said they previously investigated, they didn't find any error, but yet I have a document with incorrect information. Continuing on. Okay. And then you say you can't investigate yourself for the 4th time. Okay, which is all false. Your president said that you guys are engaging in fraudulent activity. I even have proof that disproves not only Liberty University staff, right, but also your guys as individuals that are incompetent. Okay, I don't understand why these people are in the Civil Rights Department of Education and they do not lack, they're incompetent, they lack problem solving and logical skills. Like, seriously. It's called, and this is the United States Department of Education, people who are supposedly educated, okay? Like, seriously, that's the reason why we can't have presidents that can formulate proper sentences or have some type of insight into other people's issues, because look at the attorneys that we have. Look at the program managers that we have, okay? And we even have documentation, and yet they're so lawless. Continuing on. Now, I highlighted here summary of issues with Liberty University. Mind you, I can prove all of these things. Assignment submission problem. Liberty University claimed that I need to resubmit my assignment as attached, right? However, I had already done so multiple times. On the video, you guys, right? On my playlist, I showed you where I submitted it multiple times. As a matter of fact, when I first contacted my professor, right, I actually included 2 attachments and I sent it multiple times throughout our conversation when I was chatting with him, through the Canvas portal, right? Mind you, it's still on the gradebook, right, near his comments. You can still see it in the chat room as well. It's all over. Not only is it where it's supposed to be submitted, it's also in the chat room. It's also in the gradebook. It's also still there. And I also have proof, right? And that's also on the Canvas portal, okay? So I submitted it multiple times as an attachment. Continuing on. Inconsistent grading instructions. Yes. Why? Because he claimed that he wrote the course, he created the syllabus and the, everything, but yet he's grading me outside his own very rubric, okay? That same rubric he used in week 1 and all the other weeks, and he graded all the other students with that, okay? Continuing on. And you see what his feedback is, which contradicts the rubric. Sorry, it's outside of the rubric. Mind you, we have to sign each week a agreement that we were going to be graded according to the rubric. So now, and syllabus. So now I'm confused as to why things have changed, because that is our contract, okay? That is the contract. Continuing on. Unfair treatment. Why do I say these things? Because I have proof and I documented on camera that he asked me to delete. I inadvertently submitted in the wrong area, which was wrong because he was trying to confuse me, okay? And then he tells me I need to delete it, and I call him out on that. Okay, he wants me to delete it and submit it the day it's due, but other students can submit it earlier. Because mind you, the day that it was due is in holiday, Easter, by the way. Allegations of discrimination. Yes, because once I showed my face, this is when the inconsistency of his grading and his expectations started to become murky. Continuing on, escalation to criminal allegations. Yes, because all of these people, as we can see with the documentation, has conspired against me, right? Liberty University, wrong. I disproved them. Peter Baker's outcome, right? Because they're telling me that I need to send it to him through Canvas, which I did. And mind you, not only that, they're saying that he didn't ask me to submit at a certain time when in fact they did. I have evidence of that. I showed you guys on camera already. Okay, now let's talk about the United States Department of Education. Now, I already showed you the letters that I have and I received them from them. Mind you, this is the 4th investigation. We are now in the month of May, and I just received that document, and she's saying that she can't do an investigation on her own people once again, right? Proving the loopholes in the system, okay? The system. I'm a PhD student studying organizational management, right? I highlight systems, right? Okay, continuing on. They have in their document that they cannot investigate their own people. What does that mean, you guys? You see? Hence the reason why the New York Times would write Liberty University protects its what? Teachers and staff as opposed to the students. So does the United States Department of Education. We see that. Why? Because they're overcharging students for all of this money that they can't even spend a degree on. Mind you, I'm in class trying to follow the rubric, trying to help myself. I'm facing a professor who, in a sense, is a bully in the classroom, yet he is getting away with these. I have all my facts and proof. The United States Department is no longer helping me. I'm actually getting Barbados. I have dual citizenship, okay, to assist me in this manner. And this is now going to be a criminal case. And I'm going for Sarah Morgan. I'm going for Noga. I'm going for Amber Sadler. I'm going from especially Jasmine Gibbs, okay? Because I have all of this documentation. Charmaine Canton needs to be reviewed because, he shouldn't be there either, because I don't understand how all of these people are in these positions. And Andre Tom, I've never even spoke to this man, right? I don't understand why all these people are in these positions, right? Yet they don't even understand the process, right? Because why am I getting a document from this individual, Sarah Morgan, who's not an attorney, right? Who is Sarah Morgan? Program Manager, United States Department of Education, right? Global Education. She has all of these, since titles, but yet there's no logic going on. There's no attorney mindset. There's no factual. There is no civil rights. There is no fighting for justice on these individuals' parts. Like, it makes me question, okay, you went to, psychology, but it's like, see, this proves nothing, because for many years, right, they have an issue with Black people and not understanding that life came from the continent of Africa and the individual had darker skin, and that lighter skin is called a mutation. Like, seriously, come on, people, seriously. So even if you don't want to go racial, okay, look at the facts, honey. Look at the facts. What do the receipts say? This is what I'm saying. These people, right? I don't care if they're your friend or not, Trump, right? They're incompetent, right? And I have nothing but letters, right, from your individuals who prove that they do not know what all is going on. I don't know which one is Sarah Morgan, right? But all I'm telling you guys, right? Let's see. Washington. Okay, let's see. Assistant. Okay, this seems to be Latin. Partner of brings experience from previous roles. Kansas City Girls. I don't know if this is her. It looks like it could be associate partner. Associate partner. I'm just trying to understand why are these people in these positions? Because they're not smart. They're not that good. Unless they're pretending. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is what we're talking about. So you don't want to talk about racism and all of these things, but then we have liars and prideful people. We can have facts, but yet it doesn't matter, because how can we get a day in court? You get what I'm saying? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. And so now you're trying to give power over to the states. Who's to say that the state person, right, is not going to be doing the same games? You get what I'm saying? Now you're harassing the students and you're having them pay all of this money. And see, I don't like that. And I'm glad in a sense that I can tell my story and I can film it so students can see, because to be honest with you, investing into an education, it seems as though the cost is outweighing the benefit. Seriously. Doctors, lawyers have all this high debt. Is that the reason why people are engaging in fraudulent activity? Like, seriously, make it make sense. Because I don't even want to expose the whole education system. But if I was you guys, like, seriously, you better start becoming your own expert. Because AI is called a glorified parrot. And we already have people who are incompetent. Now, if this AI is taking on the mindset of all these incompetent people, you better be careful. Because understand, AI doesn't create new thought. In a sense, it's called pattern recognition. So if we have people in power with certain mindsets, right, this is not good. Seriously. And individuals such as minorities who work with AI, in a sense, will tell you the problems along with AI. That's why I will never glorify AI. And to be honest with you, people who are spiritual do not, because they understand and they know that the spirit can never spirit will never, in a sense, be able to place itself on or intertwine itself with something called AI, because it needs something called organic matter, right? And what I mean by organic, it needs something that comes from the earth, such as this vessel that you're seeing. Okay. So, like I said, you guys, like Kendrick, want to pretend to now say, right, which I've been saying since last year, you picked the right one.